The top five news. We're going live in about 1 minute. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to turn on the comments and hope you'll drop a little note so I know you're out there. Put a one in if you can hear me, or just put the state or city you're watching from. And we'll get on with the show here. It's the top five news. If you're here for the first time, we give you five news stories and an encouraging word. Keep you up to date on what's going on in our world. With no rape, no pillage, no burn, no city on fire, just good news that you can use. It'll warm your heart and motivate your soul and encourage your brain. It's going to give you a promotional opportunity this week, the first day of the rest of your life. And we're about ready to go. If you are, you ready? Let's begin. We've got a good show today. Top five news, five stories, and an encouraging word. Let's jump into it by starting with the future of work. Story one today, LinkedIn CEO Ryan Roslansky says, ditch the degree. He says AI savvy is the new ticket to success. And if you're pitching your career on hopes at that Ivy League diploma, well, LinkedIn CEO Ryan just threw you a curveball. The man's steering one of the largest platforms on the earth, LinkedIn, for networking and for job seekers and recruiting. And he says, more important, AI and flexibility. In recent fireside chat, he also talked about the future of work belonging to not the fancy degrees or the college elites anymore, but instead that employers are hunting for adaptable, forward-thinking pros who know how to handle AI tools like never before. And he's on the money, I believe. Look at the top icons who have crushed it in business without a degree, without a cap and gown. You have Mark Zuckerberg, and he made a comment recently that college could be just a big financial hole. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're working on your degree, or if you're under degree age, shoot for that. That's always a good thing. But we're starting to get feedback from people like, for example, Elon Musk that made it clear to his human resources people not to make sure that a degree was not a knockout factor for talent. And Zuckerberg said college could be a big financial hole for people in his podcast. Sam Altman and Warren Buffett, he said that in his shareholder letter, he does a shareholder letter to all the shareholders if you can afford a share. But he said that Warren Buffett said he never checks where the candidate went to school. So, and he praised leaders like Forrest Rivers, Pete Legal, who built a powerhouse without finishing a college degree, and he gave a shout out to Bill Gates, so who's also a high school dropout, if you didn't know. So, and also Standard Chartered's Bill Winters, he called his Wharton MBA a waste of time. So as AI erodes all the old skills that we used to need, it's time for a new look at where you want to put your schooling. And also, by the way, school is not a 4-year degree. It's a ongoing, forever process, especially right now with AI. I'd encourage you very strongly to get an AI class. As a recruiter who plays thousands of people with companies, they want AI fluent talent now who can pivot fast and not just have the paper credentials. Yeah, and if you are hiring, we're a recruiting company that can help you build your dream team. You can reach us at 800-786-1099 or Joe at Joseph Michaels, or visit us on the web, josephmichaels.com. You can work with any of our recruiters. There's 1,400 jobs there online. All right, story two today. The AI is not just working in your favor in your career and in jobs, but it's also and I do have some good news for you in a minute, but it's also creating apparently a huge boom in AI scams where There are deep fakes and AI scammers weaponizing like never before. And according to articles in Zero Hedge and Epoch Times, we're talking deep fake cloning, where crooks can take a 10-second clip of your voice and it can sound like, or your loved ones, and it'll sound exactly like your loved one. And it'll be a machine begging you for cash. So you think about the grandparent scams, but on steroids, and you have celebrity voices pushing fake investments. Warren Buffett said he couldn't tell the difference between him and the AI clone of him. And he said, if it wasn't me, I wouldn't have known it was me. And so there are deep fake video calls and phony deals popping up that have, AI slick phishing that look legit. They look like they're from your boss, look like they're from your bank. There's no typos anymore. All that's in the history, and the AI is just pure, and they work in teams. So what's the fix? Well, one, pause for urgency. Urgency is a real red flag on these things. Verify, direct, go, get off that email, go to the main web page, call the number on your credit card, not the number on your email. And you guys know all these things, but it just seems like there's such a boom in this that it's a good time for a reminder. Report any hits to reportfraud.ftc.gov and just lock down your finances. Stay vigilant, folks. Well, the good news is story 3 today. AI will not steal as many jobs as many people feared. Human barriers keep us wanting to be, engaged. And according to SHRM, that's the Society of Human Resources Management survey, and they surveyed 20,000 U.S. workers. So they really did a deep dive on it, and they came back with a finding that they're not going to be, AI won't steal as many jobs as people think. People like a human in the cockpit, so to speak. They like the optimism of a human. They like the AI might automate 15% of tasks, and that would only put 6% of jobs at risk, not the 9 million roles that many tech experts are predicting. So, this fellow, James Atkinson, he's kind of like one of the thought leaders, right, at the SHRM, Society of Human Resources Management. And he said it's going to be more of a gradual reshaping of the jobs and not just nuking all the human jobs as one famous CEO predicted with a 10% to 20% unemployment. The reality, according to James Atkinson, Society of Human Resources, it'll be a much tamer evolution. Story number 4, and it's highlighted the fact that AI is going to augment the humans more so than replace them. When computers came out, and I'm old enough to remember that, and many of you watching me are also, and you remember when the computers came out, they said those were going to replace all the people. Well, that didn't happen. What happened was the people who weren't willing to learn the computer, yeah, they were replaced. And if you're not willing to learn AI, you probably will be replaced. That's just a matter of time. But if you dig in, the furthest you could possibly be behind would be a year or two, right? Because it's so new. Dig in, get a class, get in an AI group, start networking with some people. And we're starting to get some articles now about AI being overblown. The predictions of it, supposedly it's 17 times overbought in comparison to the dot-com boom, if that makes sense. So in other words, you had a bubble in the dot-com time. I remember it was .com, and in the year 2000, everybody started putting www.com on the end of whatever sentence they had, even if it wasn't meant to be there. It just was the end thing. It increased your valuation. Everything was .com, and now it's the same thing. Everything's AI. Supposedly, the AI hype is 17 times the .com boom hype, and I'm not sure I buy that. I think AI is going to be just massive, and I don't think you can afford to sit on the sidelines. Story 4 today, you have the government shut down, as you know, and we're still in a shutdown. Congress blew the funding deadline. We need term limits. Get some of these clowns out of there if you agree. Leave a note in the comments, and let's all vote for term limits. You know, according to Scott Adams, if the American people want something to the degree of 60 to 70% of the people want it, then it's just inevitable. So let's make that part of our vernacular that we want term limits as a people. You agree? All right. Well, it seems that the Democrats want more money for the illegals, to pay for their health care and everything. The Republicans say, no, that's not okay. What do you say? Leave a note in the comments what you think, and look forward to hearing from you. The market's unfazed, stocks higher, led by a lot of technology home run companies hitting the cover off the ball in the technology space. Story 5 today, Conor McGregor has agreed to fight, and according to him, it's a signed, done deal. He's going to fight at the White House, June 2026 at the White House. The opponent, Michael Chandler, the bout was originally scheduled for UFC 303, June 2024, but the fight was canceled due to McGregor injury. And so this is going to be in combination with a White House lawn celebration, 250th anniversary of the United States from 1776 to 2026. So yeah, buy some stock in some flag companies, because you're going to start seeing American flags pop up at every company and every office and every home. They're all going to be flying. In fact, you see them flying off of cars and stuff too. It's just going to be a sea of red, white, and blue like we've never seen before, because 250 years only comes around once every, what is that? I was going to say quarter of a century, but it's not. A quarter of a, what's the word for a 1,000-year century? Quarter of 1,000 years. Anyway, so the UFC involvement will also include a lot of other festivities for the 2026 1776 anniversary celebration. Dana White has revealed renderings of a potential setup for an octagon there on site. The event plans for a 5,000 seat venue. That seems small to me, but with 85,000 people would be able to watch on the large screens nearby, and at a park there, and have a celebration. So again, Conor McGregor says it's a done deal, sign. That's per him. And something to look forward to. 250 years. Exciting, patriotic times we live in. And now for an encouraging word on this, the first day of the rest of your life. Good-tempered leaders invigorate lives. They're like spring rain and sunshine. Get wisdom. It's worth more than money. Choose insight over income every time, especially in these times of AI. Well, friends, that's your top 5 news for today, October 3rd. Degrees fading, AI scams lurking, jobs safer than feared, shutdown shakes, and tech roaring ahead. Fight for the 250th year patriotic celebration. Friends, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again here on Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern time for the top 5 news. Spread the word, like and subscribe, and hit the repost button or whatever you need to do to spread the word around a little bit. That helps get more eyeballs on the show. And I'll see you here on Monday. Look forward to it, and you have a great weekend. Good day.